Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Janavallabha Bhagavata-dharma Gopi Janavallabha Bhagavata-dharma Yashodanandana Prachachanandana Yashodanandana Prachachanandana Yamuna Tira Vanjari Yamuna Tira Vanjari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Janavallabha Bhagavata-dharma Gopi Janavallabha Bhagavata-dharma Yashodanandana Prachachanandana Yashodanandana Prachachanandana Yamuna Tira Vanjari Yamuna Tira Vanjari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Ajnanatimirandasya Gyananjanashadakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Tadate Svapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vichakanvitam Shcha Hare Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sudevi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pashta Bhutri Shrimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Namani Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharani Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatati Shatarini Hare Krishna. I'm very honored to be amongst all of you today. Yesterday we had Rath Yatra here in Soweto, and the day before yesterday it was Bhadra Purnima, very auspicious day for offering Srimad Bhagavatam to ourselves and to others. So I would like today to combine these two significant celebrations in one important message. As we know, the day before yesterday, Bhakti Chaitanya Maharaj was explaining the second verse of Srimad Bhagavatam, Dharma Pujita Kaita Vardra Brahmo Nirmat Saranam Satam, that this Purana, in fact this Dharma, this Bhagavata-dharma, is meant for those who are completely pure in heart, and it rejects completely the Kaitava-dharma, the cheating religion, or how it is translated is dharma that is materially motivated from our life. And this is really important to understand, because as we know, further on in Srimad Bhagavatam, the sages in Naimisharanya, just after these verses, opening verses of Srimad Bhagavatam, there is this description that sages in Naimisharanya gathered to perform sacrifice for the satisfaction of the Lord, and for the benefit of people in general, especially devotees. And this is very significant because devotees are always very merciful to every living entity. And we can see that even the Lord is really merciful. For example, he's so merciful that he goes out of his temple, like we saw yesterday, to give mercy to those who never come to the temple. And he wants to every living entity to connect with him. In fact, he says in 15th chapter of Bhagavad-gita, Mamaiva Shuchivali Loke Jiva Bhutak Sanatana Mama Shashtani Dhyani Prakriti Stankarshati, that all living entities are his amshas, his own sons and daughters. In fact, we are all parts of Krishna, parts and parcels of Krishna. But because we are conditioned in this world, we struggle with the mind and these conditioned senses and suffer, in fact. This is the condition of this material world, suffering. Everyone is suffering. So Krishna wants to make us all happy, in fact. And so he is prepared to go outside of his own home. Of course, he invites everyone to come, but some people never come, and some other living entities have no opportunity to come. For example, dogs and hogs and cats and other animals, trees. So the Lord goes out of his home to also shower mercy upon those living entities. Yes, and so these sages in Namasharanya asked Sutta Goswami, Burini Buri Karmani Shrotavyani Vibhavashana, Adaksadotrayat Saram Samudritya Manisha, Bruki Badraya Bhutanam Yanatma Suprasidati. You have studied many shastras, many different scriptures. And there are different prescriptions in these scriptures, what is to be done and what's not to be done. But people of this age are very quarrelsome and always disturbed, lazy for spiritual understanding. What can be done for them? Please extract the essence. That saram. Saram means the essence. Please extract the essence of what is beneficial for anyone to attain Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Mani ki jai, Shatpuja Prabhu ki jai. For people to achieve the ultimate happiness, Bruhi Badraya Bhutanam, for their auspiciousness, for auspiciousness of every living entity, Yanatma Suprasidati, by which they can become completely satisfied. Suprasidati means satisfied, happy, but Suprasidati means completely, perfectly happy. So this was the question, how for people not just to become happy, but to be perfectly, completely satisfied. And then Sutta Goswami replied that Savaipam Sambharo Dharmo Yatok Bhaktira Dukshashe Ahaitukya Pratihata Yayatma Suprasidati. And he uses the same word, Suprasidati. The ultimate happiness can be achieved, this complete happiness, only by one way, and this is Ahaituki Bhakti. Ahaituki, Hetu means condition or cause. So Ahaituki means unconditional love to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, to the Lord who is beyond our senses. Yes. So, and this love to be, for us to be really completely satisfied, should be uninterrupted. Because if we interrupt our love, then in this time we wouldn't be superseded. We wouldn't be happy. And we are in fact the beings of happiness. It is stated in Vedanta Sutra, Ananda Mayo Vyasat. We cannot live without happiness, not even for a moment. Every our thought, every our word, every our action, if you know it or not, is searching for happiness. Yes. And therefore, people are always striving for satisfaction, because we understand satisfaction as happiness. But it is described that Tasyaiva heto pradita kovido nalabhiti pramadama parada. Nalabhiti dukkhavat anatasukam kalina sarvatra gabiranam hasa. That those who are intelligence, who have something in their head, some brain substance, they don't search for happiness in this world. They are striving for something that is not available in three worlds. So one would say they're crazy. They're striving for something that is not available at all. But it is beyond our world, or three worlds. It is in connection with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And so, in order to achieve this ahetuki bhakti, we should know what is path leading to this ahetuki bhakti. So, who would like to achieve amongst you ahetuki bhakti? Hare Krishna. Not everyone. Yes, quite a lot, but I don't think that I saw every hand. Yes, we should know first that this is truth, that only love can bring us happiness. Usually in this world, people believe that some things can make them happy if they acquire a lot of money, or if they are famous or knowledgeable or anything like this, that can bring them satisfaction and happiness. But we can consider, if we can have everything in this world for our enjoyment, we can go anywhere, we can enjoy the best food we ever wish, we can enjoy beautiful scenery and so on, have the best facilities to enjoy. But if we would be alone in this world, would it mean anything to us? Wealth and everything? It would mean more if some bird would land on our finger. At least we can have some relationship with it. And it would be more satisfying for our heart. So we can see, even in this world, the relationship, loving relationship, is what brings us satisfaction. And this loving relationship is expressed by service. So, in order to understand how to attain this ahetuki bhakti, which is the only way to bring us happiness, Rupa Goswami explains what is pure devotional service in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. And he gives us two definitions, in fact. He's not satisfied with just one. He begins with Anya Pilashita Shunyam Jnana Karmadhyanavitam Anukulyena Krishna Nishlanam Bhakti Uttama. And this is Anya Pilashita Shunyam. Abhilasha means desire, and Abhilashita means the tendency to desire. And Anya means other. Anya Abhilashita Shunyam. Shunyam means what? Do you know? Anyone knows? Zero, emptiness. Yes, we know this from Prabhupada Pranam. Shunyavadi, Parchatradishata. He saved the Western world from this Shunyavad, the faith in emptiness, in nothingness. Yes. Of course, it's crazy. But, yes, so Rupa Goswami propagates Shunya, but of other desires. Anya Bilashita Shunyam. So that means that other desires than service to Krishna should be zero. In fact, tendency to desire other things should be zero. And what does mean other desires? Because we can see, even in devotee association sometimes, that we are not very attentive what are other desires that undermine our opportunity for this rarest jewel of pure devotional service. And so people pray for if they're in sattva guna, pray for peace, for health, for good husband and good wife, good children, and peaceful environment, and so on. But these are all other desires. Even if they seem to be very pious, even they're not. They're selfishly motivated, or as Prabhupada translated in this first verse, the second verse of Bhagavatam, as we quoted in the beginning. It is cheating religion that is materially motivated. Can be, of course, sattva guna, but it's not anya bilashita shunya. And this can rob us from the rarest jewel of this ahetuki bhakti. That it is only thing that can make us suprasiddhati. Suprasiddhati. Yes. And then he says, jnana karmadi anavritam. Jnana means knowledge. Knowledge, especially knowledge of the self. And karma means work. And about jnana and karma, he doesn't say that this should be shunya, without jnana, without knowledge or without work. But that this mentality of spiritual understanding that we are the soul and not the body would not hamper our devotional service. Because if we understand just from the knowledge point of view that we are not this body, that we are spirit soul, then one would think maybe that okay, I can sit here or anywhere, I put my body in some corner and I do nothing. Because I'm not this body, why should I move even? or breathe or anything? If I don't identify with this body. But this is not our philosophy. We are put in this condition by Lord's arrangement. In this body and this environment in which we live, but only with one purpose, to serve the Lord with it and to achieve this ahetuki bhakti. If we just put our body in some corner, we can never achieve this ahetuki bhakti, because this is not bhakti to put our body in some corner. And work, of course, should be done as a service, not as to achieve something. Or even if we work from the mode of goodness just for the sake of some duty, it should be for Lord's pleasure. So even if we do our work for some duty, for help to others, or anything like this, it is karma avritam. This covers our bhakti, and not support it. Only if we meditate that this work is for Krishna's pleasure, then we can be satisfied. Yeah. And it should be anukulena and Krishna anushilana. It means we are kula means the bank of the river, and In Slovenian we have expression that if someone is antagonistic to other, if the two people are antagonistic to each other, they stand on different banks. And so here Krishna, in fact Rupa Goswami explains that we should be on the same bank, not on the other bank of to Krishna. We should be on the same bank with Krishna. Yes, that means that we should be favorably inclined to Krishna and to serve him according to his desire. Yes. So, this is Uttama Bhakti, he explains. Tamas means darkness or ignorance. And Uttama is beyond darkness or ignorance. So, only this kind of bhakti is Uttama, beyond darkness, beyond this world, transcendental. If you would translate transcendental. But he also then offers the other definition of devotional service and says, Sarvapadi vinirmuktam tat paratvena nirmalam Hrishikena Hrishikesha sevanam bhaktiruchyate. We should discard all these upadis. Upadi means denomination or identifications, different identifications. So, because of this, of our conditionings, we identify as men, women, black, white, Hindu, Christian, Muslim, Chinese, a human being, and a dog, animal, other animal, or a bird, or a plant. So these are all bodily designations and have nothing to do with our constitutional position as a spirit soul. So this should be completely rejected, this bodily consciousness, because this will again rob us of this rarest jewel of Ahetuki Bhakti. Yes. And this is so ingrained in us, deeply rooted obstacle to pure devotional service. Because we always consider ourselves according to our material position. I'm a student, I'm a father, I'm a mother, I'm young, I'm old, I'm coming from this background, that background, and because of this ignorance, then we cultivate, as it is explained by Kapila Muni in third canto of Bhagavatam, Pritak Bhava. Pritak means separate, and Bhava means existence. So if we consider ourselves in any material condition, as we explained, black, white, or anything like this, then we cultivate this Pritak Bhava, the separate identity from the Lord. And that means that we are caught in this material consciousness, and there are 5 stages as avidya. It means because we have this Pritak Bhava, the separate identity, we are subjected to ignorance. Vidya means knowledge, and avidya means ignorance. And because of this avidya comes asmita. I'm this, I'm that, I'm whatever. Asmi means I am. So I identify with my designations, bodily designations. And because of these my bodily designations, I love something that I consider it supports my existence, my world, not just my body, but also my language, my culture, my worldview, my understanding of things around me, um, my family, my this, my that, my football club. And anything that we think that maybe it's poses some threat to our existence, we hate this. So we hate other religions, other nations, other colored bodies, other football club. And so you laugh, but people fight among each other. Isn't it true? I believe it's so also in South Africa, isn't it? And there are football hooligans who are prepared to kill each other. um, yes, because of this bodily identification. Uh, yes, and this is dvesha. One is raga, that we think that this supports our existence, and the other side is dvesha. We hate everything that undermines our so-called existence. And because of this, we dive deeply in bodily consciousness, and there is abhinivesha, great fear of losing our existence. Of losing our existence. So, the solution is, of course, the process of devotional service. Especially in this age, it is only by chanting the holy name of the Lord. Harir Nama, Harir Nama, Harir Nama Eva Kevara. Kalau nasti eva nasti eva nasti eva patirandita. But this should be without offense. If you want to achieve this relish jewel of Hetuki Bhakti, should be without offense, chanting of the Lord's holy name. If we chant the holy name with offenses, we will get material points. Yes, we can say this is very good. I can even go to heaven, but Abrahma Bhuvanagloka Hunanavarti Nochana Maubita Kantela Punarjanvana Vititi. That means Prabhupada explains that every planet is full of misery in this world. Even from Brahmalok to Patalok, from the highest planet to the lowest. And only those who attain this Ahetuki Bhakti can transcend this world. So, Jai Baldev Subhadramaya ki jai, Sati Prabhu ki jai, so we should know that's why I'm stressing this knowledge of Ahetuki Bhakti, of pure devotional service, that we should avoid these offenses, because one of the offenses, as we know, is to keep material desires and while chanting the holy names. So if we, maybe you have heard, I don't know if this is so popular here, but it's certainly popular in Europe, to pay for some pujas for Lord Nrsimhadev in Mayapur for health. My health, for health of my family, for health of this and this. So that Lord Nrsimhadev got the name Dr. Nrsimhadev. Have you heard about this title of Lord Nrsimhadev? It's not so popular here. Yes, in Slovenia it's certainly popular. Yes, so we should be careful, because of course Lord Nrsimhadev is all powerful, he can fulfill every our desire, no problem for him. But we will be robbed of relish jewel, of a Hetuki Bhakti. And only this by Ahetuki Bhakti we can become Supasiddhi. So, I would like to invite you to consider deeply your devotional service. And we mentioned the holy names, chanting of the holy names. And in fact, as long as we are on this path, that means of sadhana bhakti, this is our only connection with Krishna. Chanting of the holy names and serving Srimad Bhagavatam, serving the scriptures. Nashta Parishva Padashu Nityam Bhagavata Seva Bhagavati-dharma Shloki Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. Only by serving Lord's pure devotees and Srimad Bhagavatam, by listening and studying, our bhakti will become naishtiki, firmly established in our heart, or as Prabhupada says, it becomes irrevocable fact. So, I would like to stress this chanting of the holy names, how important it is. For example, if we don't put stress on this really pure chanting of the holy names, even at least that we try to chant purely, then we cannot develop this deep desire for the Lord. And what does it mean? If we are catching our rounds all day long, this is not quality chanting and this is not quality connection with the Lord. So we should put our we should have our time for chanting Lord's names, and only this in this world, nothing else during this time. We should certainly switch off our phone and put it in another room, because this is the ultimate distractor of this world. And completely dedicate ourselves to chanting, and especially in the morning. Even if we chant, if we set our time later on, some other people will come and ask us this and that, and then we, of course, have to interrupt our japa. But this is not auspicious. This is not beneficial for our developing relationship with the Lord. So we should set our time very early in the morning, because no one will disturb us at this time. And we, of course, we should also put this distractor in another room, just not to be tempted to look in it. So, and to devote exclusively to chanting, with only this prayer that we, as Prabhupada explains, how can I serve you? Oh, Srimati Radharani, oh Krishna, how can I serve you? How can I serve you? This should be our only prayer, not how you can serve me, how you can serve me. I have this problem and that problem. This world is the world of problems. Everyone has problems. Is there anyone here who never had any problem? I can see not even one hand is going up. Yes, because this world is full of problems. So this problem should not disturb our relationship with the Lord. So every problem is solved by service, of serving the Lord. Yes. So it's so important to have this quality time for chanting, that nothing disturbs us in this world. Nothing. So if necessary, we should lock ourselves. That we shouldn't be disturbed. Hare Krishna. So, is there any question or comment or doubt or anything? Please. Don't be shy. Yes, please.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much for the class. I wanted to ask, how can we take proper advantage of seeing an association? Because sometimes I was reading the book Dying Before Dying by Bhagavata-dharma, and he speaks about how sometimes his friends would come see him, and all of them had that feeling of, I wish I could have connected like this sooner, not that now you are dying. So I'd like to know, how can we take advantage of seeing association before it's too late, to not have that regret, oh, I wish I could have gone more, I wish I could have spoken more, I wish I could have served more. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. It's a really important question. Thank you very much. As we know from scriptures and from acharyas, this devotee association, especially of pure devotees, is extremely important because one can tell who one is by company he keeps. So if we have association with those who are not fixed in devotional service, maybe they are devotees, but if they're not fixed, they're even more detrimental for our bhakti than those who are materialists. Because we are not on guard when we associate with those who are not serious enough in devotional service. And so we tend to acquire their qualities. For example, oh, he doesn't do this, why should I? So it's extremely important to have association of those who are really advanced in devotional service and fixed in devotional service. So we should seek them, especially this should be our Guru Maharaj. And even if we study Prabhupada's books, we associate with pure devotee, Srila Prabhupada. But it is because the tendencies of our mind, we should also have life association because we don't take it so seriously. Once I was surprised, I heard my Guru Maharaj speaking in class. He said, today Srila Prabhupada told me this and this and this. And it was surprising because Srila Prabhupada left this world, I don't know, 40 years ago. So, but then because many devotees were surprised when he spoke like this. So he explained that every time he listens to Srila Prabhupada's lecture, he considers Srila Prabhupada is just talking to him directly. And all his instructions, he takes it seriously as personal instructions. So, but of course, this is also necessary to listen great souls as Srila Prabhupada and our spiritual masters and other pure devotees. But also we try to seek their association, search for those, and be yourself like this also, to give your association, and serve together. And that means serving together means that you share your realization of Krishna consciousness. And Majjita Madgata Prana Bodhayantah Parasparam Katayantash Chamam Nityam Tishyanti Charamanti Cha. It's explained by Krishna in Chatur Shloka of Bhagavad-gita, in 9th chapter of Bhagavad-gita. My devotees always glorify my pastimes and activities, and they enlighten one another. Bodhayantah. means to awaken one another. And always discussing my glories. And they experience great satisfaction and bliss by doing this. Uh, so, of course, this is one point that we discuss Krishna Katha with one another, but also other things should be done together, other service. For example, we come to the temple together, we serve together deities, we clean temple together, we serve prasadam together to the devotees, and be friends together. Or if there is some, of course, if this is on the same level, but if this is some senior Vaishnava, we should strive to serve this Vaishnava as far as we can. Yes. And Rupa Goswami explains who is this elevated Vaishnava who doesn't have a tinge to criticize others. In Nectar of Instruction in the Buddha-shamrita. And so, if one is so pure that he never criticizes anyone in this world, you should serve him. Hare Krishna. Anything else? Yes, please.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, thank you so much for your class. There's no question, but I just want to make a comment.
Yes,
I
please.
think your point about chanting at a specific time when you're not being disturbed is absolutely important. Because when you chant during the early hours of the morning, then your entire day goes beautifully. You're not disturbed. You can do your entire 16 rounds at one go because you at that pace, your thoughts are calm, you're not troubled by anything. So that is absolutely significant, and I thank you for that point. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you.
Just one more, maybe it's a question. You've traveled all over. What is the feeling or the sense that you get or the perspective that you get about devotees from different countries? I'm not sure whether you've come here to South Africa for the first time or you've been here. So comparatively, from here, South Africa, to your country that you're coming from, are they more attentive? Are they more on a level, that's higher than where we are here in South Africa? Is there any kind of sense that you've received or were able to see?
I'm here for the first time.
Oh, okay.
So I have no experience about your practices here. But as I can see from other countries, I think there's not enough stress put on this chanting of the holy names in peaceful environment. I don't know how it's here situation, but this is so important, as you also mentioned, because if we start our day with our obligations in this world, because everyone has different obligations, even if you're a brahmachari, you have your obligations. And if you start your day with your obligations and then chant, then your mind will always be on your duties. Always. It's natural. So you have to find your time before you have any obligation in this world to chant. Because then your mind will be peaceful. At least more peaceful. If not completely peaceful. It's easier to focus at that time. And if we think of other things, this is also fancy. Just imagine that you speak with someone you love, but he's with his thoughts somewhere else. He doesn't listen to you. Isn't it offensive? Yes. If our loved ones, they don't put any attention to what we are speaking, and what did you say? And after 2 minutes, what did you say? And can you repeat what did I say? I have no idea. And this is our attitude if we don't chant during the time that is completely dedicated only to chanting. And this is possible only in the morning, of course. And especially it is necessary for parents, for those who have children, to chant really early in the morning. Because then children will know, yes, he believes in this process. This is not, because if we, parents may have many times this excuse, yeah, I have so many obligations, I have no time to, I have to sleep and I don't have time to rise early in the morning. And so parents, they catch in these rounds all day long, many times, at least I have seen like this. But if we chant like this, it's of course not beneficial for us, but it is detrimental for our children too, because they can see that this chanting is just a burden for you. And I don't want to be burdened, I want to enjoy, because I have said that this we are anandamayo vyasat, we are living entities of happiness, of enjoyment. So we seek happiness with every our thought, every our word, every our action. And if we can see that someone who is teaching us something, that he doesn't believe in this really, that he's burdened with it, we won't accept it. And so this is, I don't know how it's here, but it's a great problem in Europe and in the West, that children of devotees many times don't become devotees themselves. Just because of this example of that this is a burden, not something pleasurable. But we know from Krishna that it's susukam kartam vavayam. It should be joyfully performed, not to be burdened by it. So it's so crucial, especially for grihastas and also for others, to chant early, very early in the morning, before any disturbance come. Hare Krishna. You have a question?
Thank you so much. We're so honored to have you here and so inspired by your talk. Really appreciate it. All glories to your service. And just relating to the question Manaji asked, what you were saying. So the first part is, what has helped you to establish the regular sadhana? You also, you've had, coming from the grihastha life as well, so many responsibilities, also service. So from that perspective, if you could share something that's maybe helped you along that journey that we can maybe learn from.
First, I believe it is understanding that only pure devotional service can, by pure devotional service we can become suprasiddhiti. And by the understanding that this is the only way in this world, that there is no other way to achieve anything in this world, in fact. So if we have this deep understanding, then we of course establish then, we become disciplined. Because any achievement in this world, even if material achievements, we take, for example, are achieved by discipline. Only by discipline. If we want to become good students, we should be very disciplined. If we want to be the best students. If we want to be gold medalist in Olympic Games, we should be extremely disciplined. And any other achievement, if we want to be a successful businessman, we also have to be disciplined. Isn't it true? So if you want to achieve any spiritual success, we must be very disciplined. And for example, I don't know if you know about great marathon runner, marathon runner, so I know about marathon a little bit. Yeah, he's African, Eliud Kipchoge. He runs really extremely fast marathon, 21 km per hour. Extremely fast. Many of us who cannot go so fast with the bike. And he says, only the disciplined ones are free in this world. If you're a slave to your passions, you cannot achieve anything. And this is also true for devotional service. So, and we know this discipline is the mode of goodness. And for the mode of goodness, it is known that it's like a poison at the beginning, but nectar at the end. So, maybe it seems like poison, this discipline, but it is the only way, because by discipline we can find time for our chanting, by discipline we can find time for our reading, with discipline we can find our time for hearing, and devotee association and everything. Then even if we have thousands of obligations, we can find time for everything. For example, it is known, if you want something to be done quickly and good, you should give this to do to someone who is completely occupied with other obligations, not to someone who has full time. Because he's disciplined and he will do it, and he will do it effectively and very with high quality. But if you give it to someone who has many time on his disposal, he said that he didn't have time. He couldn't do it because he had other obligations. So discipline is the key. Discipline is the key.
Thank you, Prabhu. The other question I had, Prabhu, was by learning the verses from the Bhagavad-gita, can you tell us a little bit about your journey and how you went about that?
About Bhagavad-gita verses?
Yeah.
Hare Krishna. In fact, we have, in Slovenia, we have Padayatra every year. And this Padayatra was visited frequently by one Italian devotee, senior devotee. His name was Hare Krishna Prabhu. And he was playing an accordion, big accordion like this, and singing so beautifully that people on the street were crying. And they come to us and were asking, can we buy these CDs of yours? And I said, this is live now. And they couldn't believe. It was so beautiful. And because of him, I wanted to learn accordion. And he learned accordion. He went to music school and learned accordion. And one time he said to me that I should learn Bhagavad Gita with my kids. And I took it seriously and verbatim. And so we started from Bhagavad Gita, first verse, Dhritarashtra Vacha, Dharma Kshitra Guru Kshitra, Samavita Yuta, Amavah Pandavashtaiva, Kimakurvata Sanjaya, learning verses. And in few years we learned something, but then my first son quit and then die quit. And then I was left alone somewhere in 10th chapter. And I paused for some time, but then I considered that it would be very good if I learn on, and then I started to learn further. So, Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much for your attention.